She's just an intern, the manager barked. Interns take the service elevator. His voice echoed across the sleek marble lobby, loud enough for the nearby executives to hear and glance, then look away. Amara Daniels stood still, stunned. Her hand frozen just inches from the button panel. She had shown her ID badge. It didn't matter. Not to him. Mr. Riker, the building's operations manager, stepped forward and pressed the close button, blocking her entry. "You can wait until the staff shift ends," he added with a smirk. "This elevator's for decision makers." Amara blinked slowly, trying to keep her composure. She was dressed in a neat navy blouse and gray slacks, hair pulled back, heels polished. But to Riker, she didn't look like power. She didn't sound like ownership. She looked like someone who didn't belong in a building lined with million-dollar tenants and glass-encased boardrooms. Behind her, a few guests whispered. One woman raised her phone like she might record, but quickly lowered it. Amara stepped back, lips pressed tight. Her fingers curled around the edge of her leather folder, knuckles whitening. Her father's handwriting peeked from the edge of a sealed envelope inside, something he had given her before he passed. She didn't respond. She simply turned, walked away from the elevator line, and didn't notice the older man in the far corner watching the entire thing unfold. He knew who she was, and he wasn't just anyone. Amara sat quietly on the edge of the marble fountain in the garden courtyard behind the lobby. Her eyes traced the ripples in the water, but her mind replayed the humiliation. Every word, every look. She could have fought back, but for what? She wasn't here to argue. She was here to observe, to learn. That's what her father taught her. Her hands trembled slightly as she opened her leather folder. The envelope inside was slightly crumpled from being gripped so tightly. On the front, "Open only when they forget who you are." Her father's handwriting. Simple, neat, but firm. She opened it. Inside was a letter of transfer, naming her not only the new executive intern for the Daniels Trust firm, but also the sole beneficiary and legal owner of the very building she had been denied access to. Next to it, a folded photo. Her and her father standing in front of the same building. She was 8, holding a balloon, grinning. He had just bought it. The sound of footsteps pulled her from the moment. It was Mr. Ellis, the family's longtime legal advisor. He stood before her, adjusting his glasses, a faint smile forming. "They don't recognize you, but they will." He extended a small, heavy card toward her. It wasn't an ID. It was the master access card. And that meant it was time. The elevator chimed as the doors slid open onto the top floor. Conversations halted. Executives paused mid-step. At the far end of the glass atrium, Mr. Riker looked up from a client tour and froze. Amara stepped out, heels silent on the marble, folder in hand, expression calm. Behind her walked Mr. Ellis, silent but unmistakably authoritative. Every eye turned. No one spoke. She approached the center table where refreshments for the board were laid. Without a word, she placed the letter of ownership and the transfer deed on the polished wood. The Daniels Trust seal gleamed faintly in the light. Then came her voice, measured, steady. "This morning,
I was told I didn't belong here, that interns should use the back elevator. But this building bears my family's name, and today it returns to my hands." Mr. Reichert stepped forward, mouth ajar. I had no idea." "I know," Amara said, cutting gently. "That's the problem." She didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. One by one, the room quieted further. A few down glanced in discomfort. The same woman who had looked away earlier now stood, eyes lowered. Amara reached for the small sign on the refreshment table, flipped it, and replaced it with her own card. Amara Daniels, owner. Then she turned and walked back to the elevator. Behind her, Mr. Reichert slowly bowed his head. The new plaque would go up tomorrow. Daniels Tower, where every voice matters. Power isn't about speaking louder, it's about being unshakable in silence. Amara Daniels taught us that dignity doesn't need permission, and legacy doesn't need volume. When you're rooted in truth, you don't have to demand respect. You embody it. Let her story remind us, the world doesn't change by yelling. It shifts when someone walks through the front door like they were never meant to enter through the back. If this quiet strength moved you, leave a comment below. We read every voice. Subscribe for more stories where justice whispers, but the world listens.